It is the 6th of December 2024. Of course, very soon we will be closing the year. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mpango Mugalu Muhammad is already with us there on sign language, and this is News Tonight at 8. Straight away into the bulletin. An illegal structure belonging to Patricia Ogule Nava and Rakihura Roy Leonard has been demolished in Buwate Village, Kira Parish and Wakisu District due to wetland degradation. The operation was conducted by the Environmental Protection Force under NEMA alongside UPDF and technical officers from the Wetland Management Department. Let's hear more in this report. And with that story of demolishing Buwate, we will be bringing the details of that particular story later in this bulletin. As we move ahead, the Inspector General of Government, Betty Kamya, has launched 3 USAID-supported accountability initiatives aimed at strengthening anti-corruption mechanisms, boosting civic engagement, and improving local revenue mobilization. The initiatives launched at an event in Munyonyo are in partnership with Governance Systems International, Research Triangle International, and Action Aid Uganda. Let's hear more.
The Inspector General of Government, Betty Kamya, has launched 3 USAID-supported initiatives aimed at tightening corruption controls, empower citizens in the fight against corruption, and strengthen accountability in all public sectors.
Every move that is in the right direction and is well-intentioned is good. Of course, it will not solve the problem today, but inch by inch, foot by foot, brick by brick, that's what we need to get to a certain level of intolerance to corruption.
Betty Kamya expressed concern about the lack of citizens' involvement in reporting high-level corruption, urging citizens to use platforms like social media to report suspicious activities.
The IGG has instruments of authority. The people have information. So I need you to tell me that this public servant is building a mansion in Karamoja or in Kabale. But we don't know his any other source of income except being a public servant who earns about 2 million. I can't know. That information must be given to me by someone who knows.
But I think the biggest part is that also corruption has evolved. It has become so complicated, and I think recently we are beginning to see that people just are not just corrupt, but it's planned for and embedded into the system. Somebody starts the budget process knowing how much money they are going to put into the budget before they cannot take it.
These anti-corruption initiatives are a 4-year program that will involve local governments to ensure that government resources and projects provide value for money.
If someone is coming to get health services at the facility, do we have the drugs? Are they available? Is there a health worker who can help that person? That's what it's all about. So how do we work together? We want to make sure that we can root out corruption. And that work cannot be done by one person or one entity. It has to be done by all of us. So that's why we must say yes to accountability and no to corruption.
You go to a hospital, you have a dying person, and the first thing that you pay a bribe. So paying a bribe and a person to die, you find that a citizen is really in a fix because you want to save a life.
A report by IGG which covers the periods of July to December 2023 and January to June 2024 indicates that a total of shillings 9.144 trillion slipped through the cracks in the public purse. This same amount would construct the standard gauge railway from Malaba to Kampala. Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Crispus Arinitwe. Now back to our top story. An illegal structure belonging to Patricia Lukoma and Rakihura Roy Leonard has been demolished in Buwate Village, Kira Parish, Wakiso District due to wetland degradation. Let's hear more in this report.
The demolition of the illegal structure followed a violation of the National Environment Act by 2 individuals. According to the documents obtained from NEMA, a site inspection was carried out on June 14, 2024 before a restoration order was issued.
NEMA issued a stop notice which was defied, which was followed by a restoration order which was issued on the 12th of July, and it expired without any petition or response from the developer.
During the inspection, it was discovered that the individuals had violated Section 55 of the National Environment Act by backfilling the wetland. On July 12, 2024, they were issued a restoration order directing them to restore the degraded wetland, demolish the perimeter wall around the wetland, remove the structure, and cease further developments on the wetland.
And that prompted the immediate response of effecting restoration of the wetland.
Despite being given 21 days to comply, neither the restoration order was honored nor an appeal made. As a result, NEMA took action to protect the environment. The LC1 chairman of Buwate, Winter Sinkanji, attempted to engage Patricia Lukoma and Rakihura Roy Leonard, but they claimed to have a legal approval of their development. Some residents applauded NEMA for protecting the environment.
But they were pulling out papers, thinking that they were coming from legal offices, the above offices. So as an LOC, you could not fight to the last office. But at least we did our best. I also condemn such acts of ignoring, actually killing wetlands, killing our good sources of water.
NEMA has, however, vowed to continue fulfilling its mandate while urging citizens to comply with the environmental protection laws.
The developer encroached by almost a whole acre. It was approximately 0.7 acres that was affected. Therefore, our team...
Susan Naonga reporting for EBC TV.
And in the area of road safety, Minister for Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba Wamala, has directed traffic police to bar buses without valid passenger service vehicle licenses and route charts from operating and during this festive season. This directive aims to reduce road accidents during the holiday period while unveiling the road safety guidelines at Uganda Media Center in Kampala. General Katumba Wamala urged the road users, pedestrians and motorists alike to exercise caution and vigilance.
The Ministry of Works and Transport, Traffic Police, civil society organizations and religious leaders have come together this festive season to emphasize road safety and discourage irresponsible behavior on the roads. Concerns were raised about increased traffic during the festive season, which often leads to misuse of roads and extended travel times. General Katumba Wamala noted that during last year's festive season, between December 23rd and January 1st, Uganda lost 60 people to road accidents, a trend the ministry is determined to reverse.
We are talking of January and September, we are talking about 3,790 people who have died. That's a big number for a country to lose every year. And apart from that, of course, about 12,000 with various injuries. Some of them are still lying in hospital. You get a bad message while you are driving and you fail to concentrate. So avoid that because it could highly distract you and you lose concentration. A second loss of concentration on the road could mean the difference between your life and the lives of others. Driver should be advised to move the original or a copy of your driving license. If you can't get a physical copy, put it on your phone.
He released a set of guidelines urging motorists to plan their journeys earlier, avoid drink driving, speeding and reckless maneuvers. Additionally, the minister emphasized the need for drivers to ensure compliance with safety measures such as displaying their photos and possessing valid driving licenses and badges.
Whose journeys are beyond 300 kilometers shall not have return journeys within 24 hours. And that one the police will enforce because they know that they have the route chart, they will have all that detail. Only buses with valid route charts and valid PSV licenses shall be allowed to operate.
The Commissioner for Transport Regulation and Safety, Winston Katushabe, highlighted the focus on border riders who contribute to 64% of road accidents.
In terms of performance, yes, the trend, Honorable Minister, goes high, and this is why we would like now to focus more on borders as a target enforcement.
The Director of Traffic and Road Safety, Uganda Police, AIGP Lawrence Nwabine, announced that police operations will be realigned to strictly enforce the Minister's directives.
And now that he has directed, I am also directing the traffic police to arrest but to release after 48 hours and take offenders to courts of law. If you are the unfortunate one, you may be arrested during the festive peak and you may not enjoy.
The Executive Director of Chuma Technologies and Innovation Center, Walugaba Williams, stressed the importance of pedestrians speaking out against irresponsible road behavior.
When you see your seat is increasing, speak up and try to make sure that you are safe. But most importantly, when you're on the road and the driver is speeding recklessly, speak up.
Meanwhile, Reverend Daniel Wejuli from the Interreligious Council of Uganda called on clergy members to continuously spread the road safety message.
We can cause an impact and positive change when we speak to our people repeatedly. Don't talk about it once and say it is for traffic police. For them, their work is to police.
Residents of islands were also cautioned against night travel on water and reminded to wear life jackets for safety. I'm Navka Farida and Kenneth Tanaba in Kampala.
Now, the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa Sentamu, has officiated the launch of the off-grid results-based financing in Chiboga district to scale up clean energy adoption and access. Nankabirwa says the program is a statement to the government of Uganda and its unwavering commitment to ensuring that Ugandans, regardless of their location or income, have access to affordable and sustainable energy solutions.
Wa energy ne mineral development okusala katep kali riboneta esalibwa.
The Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, has launched the Off-Grid project aimed at increasing access and adoption of clean energy through financial support for clean cooking solutions, off-grid solar technologies for households and enterprises.
42 financial institutions expressed their interest to participate in the financial intermediation of the electricity access scale-up project component being implemented by this company, UECCC. Similarly, I have also been informed that 125 energy service companies expressed interest in partnering with UECCC in the price subsidy program which are results-based financing. This program will directly address the upfront cross-barrier associated with the acquisition of clean energy technologies.
Government yatuwa enteekateeka eno neeyambako ku bantu b'owansi okulaba nga nabo bafuna gas ng'ebawa 40% ku kusasula kits zonna 40%, nga bonna twagala abantu b'owansi bonna balabe nga bafuna ekintu kino okulaba nga nabo bava ku manda ne kunku nga ffenna tutambula ffenna Uganda ffenna.
Gaasi mu nsonga y'okusevinga, gaasi asevingako okusinga ku manda. Tiweesanga ng'okola katoni 2 ez'eŋŋaano olunaku oba okozesa gaasi kilo 2 zokka, of which ate obeera ku manda oba okozesa amanda nga ga mitwalo 3 osika katoni 2. So bw'otudda ku sevingi, gaasi asigazaako kasente nobanga osobola okusevinga n'okola ebintu ebirala oba n'okulaakulana.
Nankabirwa says the creation of Uganda Energy Credit Capitalization Company will bridge financing gaps and empower renewable energy projects to thrive, transforming lives across the country.
The Electricity Access Scale-up project is the World Bank facility of $638 million, which we launched in Mitoma last year in January.
Company will bridge financing gaps and empower renewable energy projects to thrive, transforming lives across the country. However, a challenge of electricity vandalism was cited in the district of Chiboga, which the minister says is a diversion of government's programs. The off-grid program is funded by Government of Uganda and World Bank and is expected to go until June 30th, 2027. Marion Awori for UBC.
Thank you very much, there, Marion Awori. Now, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has achieved over 50% of its manifesto implementation targets since 2021, with plans to achieve more by 2026. This update was presented by Dr. Peace Mutuzo, the Minister of State for Gender, Labour and Social Development, while detailing the ministry's ongoing commitments, as we hear more in this report.
Minister of State for Gender, Dr. Peace Mutuzo, says youth, women and people with disabilities have benefited from government programs aimed at fostering self-reliance.
Under the Youth on Economic Empowerment, we have a program called Youth Livelihood Program. We have so far been able to cover 1,803 groups, and along with that, 12,218 beneficiaries were reached, where 6,080 are female, 6,138 are male, and we have offered them finances totaling to 14.3 billion shillings.
She also noted that employment opportunities, including external labor, contribute over 30 billion to the country's GDP.
300,000 employment opportunities with the wage averaging to 1 million shillings have been created. At least whoever goes to the Middle East is able to earn not less than 1 million shillings per month. So over the reporting period, government has been able to so far collect 30 billion Uganda shillings from this externalization of labor alone.
The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, gave details of some of the ministry's achievements.
We are working on also developing what we call a social registry for this country. And that social registry should help us get data on almost all these vulnerable groups of people that are benefiting from existing programs of government, empowerment, social protection programs. That single registry is something we have already progressed.
However, inadequate funding remains a challenge, limiting the ministry's ability to fully achieve its goals. Winnie Ainembabazi Katwire for UBC.
The Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Jacob Maxson Oboth, has called on Turkey to make Uganda its manufacturing hub for defense industries, leveraging on strategic position in Africa to replicate Turkey's role in Asia and Europe. He was hosting a Turkish delegation at the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs headquarters at Mbuya in Kampala.
Speaking at the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs headquarters during a meeting with the Turkish delegation, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Jacob Oboth, emphasized the nation's potential to capitalize on its long-standing agreements with Turkey, which date back to 2016. These include a memorandum of understanding and defense cooperation agreements in areas such as technology transfer, research, and training.
That you're here, and we would like to hear from you, and you get to hear from us about how we can translate these areas of cooperation into tangible projects that would be able to set the trend in the defense industry in Uganda.
The collaboration will be coordinated through the National Enterprise Corporation NEC, the commercial arm of the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and the Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF. The Turkish ambassador to Uganda, Mehmet Fatih AK, reaffirmed Turkey's commitment to deepening its partnership, emphasizing Uganda's strategic importance.
Uganda has a strong army. Uganda is a stable country in its region in East Africa. And we also thank you for exporting this stability to other countries in the region, like Somali.
Lieutenant General James Mugira, the Managing Director of the National Enterprise Corporation NEC, highlighted the evolution of the Uganda-Turkey relationship, underscoring a shift from being a buyer to a capacity-building partner.
What we are looking for is a kind of partnership. Not trade, not selling something. We are looking for partnership, collaboration, cooperation, co-development, co-production, even in Turkey or even in Uganda. As long as it's a win-win, that's okay. I mean,
the senior officials from both sides, including Major General Jack Bakasumba, the Chief of Joint Staff, Major General Sabiti Muzei, General Manager of Luero Industries, Brigadier General Charles Bakaomura, Uganda's defense attached to Turkey, and the head of the Turkish delegation, Gökhan Ukar, attended the meeting. Charity Marion Imnat, UBC News.
Now, a little into the East African community, the Deputy Prime Minister Ali Twara Kadaga has urged the East African community country to work towards seeing that remaining barriers are worked on and solved. She said this during the celebration of the 25th East African Community Anniversary in Kampala, as we hear more from Bakabalindi.
Under the theme, A Reflective Journey and Future Aspirations, the Minister of East African Community Affairs has celebrated 25 years of existence. The third Deputy Prime Minister, Rebecca Litwala Kadaga, graced this occasion in Kampala and said that the minister has registered various
In 1984, a mediator was appointed because, if you remember, during the build of the community, each country contributed 33% to the building of institutions, the buying of infrastructure and so on. But at the breakup, those who had more kept more. Uganda got to 19%, Tanzania got 27%, Kenya got 42%. So there was a mediation agreement, and Kenya and Tanzania were asked to compensate Uganda for our 33%.
Kadaga says a lot still needs to be done by these East African community countries to address barriers affecting the integration, such as trade, related and the likes.
The biggest hurdle has been the non-tariff barriers and the issue of sovereignty, because
Now, the DP bloc has launched a Democratic Alliance, a political pressure group with plans to form a political party soon to be led by the former of opposition, Matthias Mpuga. This announcement was made during an event held at Malibu Hotel in Mengo near Kampala.
A political organization by DP bloc has formed a political pressure group, the Democratic Alliance, that aims at forming a political party to be led by the former leader of opposition, Matthias Mpuga. The alliance, which includes several political entities such as FDC, DP, NOP, and the Holy Alliance, represents a broad and inclusive approach to political unity. Matthias Mpuga confirmed his commitment to the united political movement, urging people to join their cause. He emphasized his proven capabilities and criticized other political parties for prioritizing their own interests over the needs of the people who elected them.
Here to invite you to join me, to join my leader team, to join the DP bloc, to join the whole alliance my brother Chamunda has talked about, into one single file of struggling Ugandans for a better country. And I can tell you, we have missed a lot of opportunities. We have lost time, backbiting each other, backstabbing each other, instead of serving the enemy of our common peoples.
Mpuga expressed his intention to collaborate with various political groups across Uganda to form a unified party.
Some of our actions have only entrenched the enemy of our common peoples. Probably Mr. Museveni would have left power a long time ago, but for our actions, he feels strong and stronger to stay on hold. And the biggest danger for us and generations ahead, that Museveni dreams of his son succeeding him. And some of us are happy that that bequest will also hold. I'm here to invite you to join us, to join every one of us, to join the struggling Ugandans into that common call that we are not going to make that mistake again.
This vision was further solidified with the signing of a partnership agreement with Alien Skin, marking a commitment to working together. He encouraged the youth to support the movement, urging them to use social media to promote the party's cause.
If you don't respect the elder or the leaders of the people, you don't respect the people. Bw'otaba mu kitiibwa mukulembeze w'abantu oba weerimbise mu kifaananyi nenga ggwe abataba abantu kitiibwa.
Former Machindye MP Mike Mabike shared his hope that the party's efforts would lead to development for the people, promising that the party would strive to fulfill the goals and aspirations of the voters.
Kakati buzibu ki bwe twagwako bano ba Abednego baatuleetera n'abaana bamulaba abatudde wano ffenna twakola ensobi emyaka ene mabega kubanga Fala yali aluddeyo ne tukwata ssabavubuka ne tumwambaza amaganduula ne tumugamba atandike emmisa. Kati ssabavubuka ali makati ga mmisa tamanyi kiddako.
Uganda terina kizibu kyalina ekizibu kiki kimu. Buli mukulembeze gwe tufuna ayagala kutufuula bizinensi ye, ayagala ffe tukole, ayagala tubeere baddu nga ye bw'abeera mu bibyo. Ekyo kye kizibu kya Uganda.
The event also marked the official launch of their political alliance to the public. Chontawaire Prescovia, Nduga Nicholas report.
Retired Colonel Orech Abednego, our former bandmaster and renowned musician, has passed away at Lera Regional Referral Hospital. He played a significant role in Uganda's independence by participating in the historic lowering of the Union Jack on 9th October 1962. Abednego succumbed to heart failure after battling heart complications. His burial will take place at Ali Parish, Chegere sub-county in Kole district, so though the exact date is yet to be communicated.
Uganda, if you go to Colorado, there's two flag poles there. One was the British tied up and the British Uganda was tied, ready to go down. Midnight, 11:59, 1 minute to go. The parade commander give double salute. Royal for Queen, for British, national for Uganda. British flag is up. They said, royal and national salute. Present, hum. Then rap, 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 rap. Then the band, we playing the British national anthem. The flag is still there, 1 minute to go. God save our gracious Queen, long live, playing by the band.
Born in 1932 in Apache District, Musei, Abednego Orech joined the British Army Band in 1950 during the King's African Rifle. When the wind of change started looming in 1958, Abednego was Sergeant Major in the Army Band and was among the 240 band members who sounded the magnanimous anthems in 1962 that pulled down the Union Jack as the crane rose as a sign of sovereignty.
Queen Midnight, oh Uganda, may God have all. That one is coming down and this one is going up. They all meet on the road. La, 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 la.
Played or sang before and after official functions, the national anthem composed by George Wilberforce Kakoma was first played on October 9, 1962 during the Independence Day celebration. A national anthem is part of the paraphernalia of iconography that many of us inherited and regard as both normal and normative.
The Uganda flag is down, up, the British down. That's how the thing happened. Then people were enjoying a lot of things. Noise, happy, clappings and doing this. Midnight. Queen's husband, Phillips, was the one witnessing handover.
Abednego and retired Colonel Tonotoa, who was then a student of Virika Fort Photo, share their experience of this historical day.
The system we inherited, to tell you the truth, that system was a system that worked. Civil servants were dedicated to their work. By 8 o'clock, every civil servant was in the office. And by that time we were working up to Saturday until Amin made it from Monday to Friday after the coup, 1971.
Band, there were only two bands, Army Band and Police Band. Both director of music were all Wazungu. And I was promoted to the rank of lieutenant, appointed director of music of the Army. And Oduka was promoted to the director of music, Police Band. So I recruited 180 and trained them for 9 months in Kiraka. Then prison band was established. And then I trained the Air Force Band for 9 months and also was trained. Now we have got 4 security guards for security band.
Retired Colonel Tonotoa Anae clan head said the British left us responsibility and accountability, which regrettably has been diluted.
In those particular days, talks about corruption, except 1965, when there was these allegations by Cheng Dawoodi about the gold that Amin brought during the civil war in Congo. That was the only time I heard about people taking money.
Both Tony Otoa and Abednego have sharp memories of the political instabilities of our country, in which Abednego lost his right eye and survived assassination in 1972. He was saved by one Lieutenant Abdullahi, a Lokbara friend, a few minutes before the trigger was pulled.
Open the gate and say, Director, you come, we go. So that man removed me. Then that's how I survived. There was no telephone. Malamungu was GSO 1 operation and training. He was brigadier. A radio call to all battalion Lango and actually clear them off from your barracks. And I was here that day.
They appealed to the current politicians to scale down their political tones. Besides writing songs for Ugandan forces, Abednego has written many anthems for different institutions, including Lao Cultural Anthem and the Ugandan Kings and Chiefs Anthem. He retired from the army in 1980 and currently serving as a priest in the Pentecostal Church. Eddie Olua, UBC News.
He will greatly be remembered. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And thank you very much, Eddie Olua. As we move ahead, Day 2 of the 5th High-Level African Forum on Women, Peace and Security in Addis Ababa has emphasized the importance of women speaking up against all forms of injustice, regardless of where they occur. Now, during an earlier session, presentations revealed by how silence remains a major obstacle to peace talks, particularly in war-torn regions of Africa. Tanzania's legislator and advisory board member for the Great Lakes region, Ambassador Liberata Molamola, remarked that the days of women remaining silent are long gone. She argued that more women speak out against injustice, more of their communities get closer, and that is when Africa will come to achieving peace and security for all. Well, let's take a short break and return with more news.
Stop breathing. To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers. What is that? Did they give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Stake 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Stake 10. Sports Stake 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Uncle Mo, asibi koja tukwasa. Vayo na wasajja batusonyiye. Chikakasi. Vayo.
Government has done it. Uganda Revenue Authority has taken you off the burden of paying interests and penalties. All you have to do is to pay your outstanding principal tax to benefit from the waiver of interests and penalties that runs till the end of December 2024. Call us on our toll-free line or email services@ura.go.ug.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
42 minutes past 8 o'clock, and we continue with our next segment where the Permanent Secretary of the Judiciary, Pius Bigirimana, has announced that the judiciary sector has made significant progress in reducing the case backlog, which has now decreased to 26%. This achievement is largely attributed to the implementation of the electronic case court management information system, which facilitates the e-filing and efficient case management. Let's hear more from this report.
The Permanent Secretary of the Judiciary, Patricia Remand, has emphasized that the fight against corruption remains a top priority within the judiciary. He says several anti-corruption initiatives have been launched, including a toll-free hotline 0800 111 900 for reporting misconduct.
I've also tried to put in place the judicial anti-corruption strategy, but we have also introduced CCTV cameras in most of the courts, so that if you are involved in corruption, at least you can capture them. We have also tried to introduce uniforms for court clerks, process servers, drivers in those courts, so that if somebody comes, that person will see that this one is a driver, this one is a court clerk, this one is a process server, and like before, where you would go to.
He also encouraged citizens to apply for bail refunds, ensuring that the process is transparent and follows judicial procedures.
Number one, apply in writing to the court that granted the bail. Contents of the application should include the full name of the applicant, the address, phone contact, and bank account details, or mobile money details, and the number registered in the name of the applicant. Don't use other people's telephone. It must be yours, must be your name, so that when you find it comes to your telephone.
Bijirimana says the judiciary plans to construct additional court buildings on the free land allocated to the Court of Appeal. This will help reduce rental expenses and expand services to communities in various areas.
Infrastructure development. We are trying to see how we can put up as many structures as possible and run away from renting, because we have been renting and it is very expensive to rent.
Regarding staff welfare, Bijirimana highlighted that the judiciary has provided medical insurance and institutional housing to all its workers.
I've tried to support our judicial officer and non-judicial staff in transport so that they can be mobile, visiting lockers, cycles, and we're also trying to, we're actually planning to have institutional houses in hard-to-reach areas for our chief magistrates and G1s.
I'm Ivan Juko and Viola Nansubuga for UBC.
And at Naguru Remand Home, this particular home in partnership with the Rotary Club of Upper Kololo has successfully hosted its 6th chicken cell. This event is part of the transformative scaling project designed to equip youth in Remand with in demand with essential life skills. Attended by representatives from the Ministry of Gender and Rotary District 9213 Governor and key partners such as Lavena and Nutrinova. The occasion celebrated the achievements of a program that aims to empower young people through vocational training.
The president of the Rotary Club of Upper Kololo, Dan Alinange, has emphasized the importance of equipping youth with skills to facilitate their reintegration into society.
This is not only pottery, but we are doing tailoring, we are doing horticulture, we are doing hairdressing, so that these people can easily integrate in the communities when they are released from Naguru Remand Home. I want to thank our partners like Lavena. Lavena has saved us the hassle of vending chicken on the streets.
These initiatives not only foster self-reliance but also help break cycles of crime and delinquency.
If we go for a bigger global grant and we take this chicken to supermarkets, what do you think will people do? They'll buy because there's charity. with this chicken. It is not a profit-making thing, but it is about supporting the youth who are the majority today, but the people who believe it is a time bomb today in our country and in our nation. So let's scale it up, make it bigger. You can imagine how many Rotarians also own supermarkets like this. They will not buy chicken from elsewhere, apart from this chicken. Some of us who are venturing into that industry also of hospitality, we're also going to be buying from the same because we believe it is for a noble cause.
The in-charge Naguru Remand Home, Mary Chomugisha, highlighted the project's positive impact, noting a shift in public perception towards the youth.
We're very grateful to have parents in Rotary who looked at uplifting the boy child, who are the majority in the center. These are, like today I have 215, 15 are girls and the remaining are boys. So these boys are more involved in robbery, but after this skill, these children will not go into groups of robbery after they have got a skill to handle while back in the communities. This development of skilling has eased everything, especially on integration.
Representing the Ministry of Gender, Rogers Golova praised the Rotary Club for addressing the specific needs of youth in remand.
So we are going to work internally to ensure that maybe startup kits are provided or that we link them to other existing government programs in agriculture so that they continue with the skill that they have received here. That is an area I think that we'll need to work on to ensure that we also follow up with those who have received the skill.
The Rotary Club of Upper Kololo continues to champion this initiative, inspiring other stakeholders to invest in transformative projects. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, in the area of disability inclusion, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has launched an annual Disability Inclusion Awards aimed at recognizing the rewarding private businesses and companies demonstrating leadership, innovation and sustainability in creating opportunities for persons living with disabilities. The launch took place at the British High Commissioner's residence in Kampala.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has introduced the annual Disability Inclusion Awards for 2025. These awards aim to ensure that persons with disabilities fully participate in and benefit from opportunities and services like everyone.
Meaningful inclusion for persons with disabilities. The public seem not to pick it well, and we're starting with the private sector. That reasonable accommodation does not just mean ramps. No. Persons with visual impairment, they need reasonable accommodation in terms of braille books. Persons from the deaf community, they need reasonable accommodation in terms of sign language interpreters and many other examples. So we have come up with these annual Disability Inclusion Awards to ensure that the public understands how to accommodate persons with disabilities in their work settings.
The Commissioner for Disability and Elderly Affairs, Prosper Muhumuza, explained the criteria for selection and outlined the award categories, emphasizing the ministry's commitment to promoting disability inclusion.
It's annual. Today, this is the
Uganda has joined, excuse me, Uganda has joined the global community in commemorating World Soil Day with the goal to sustainably conserve soil and ensure a famine-free future. The celebrations held at Arapai Agriculture Campus in Soroti City were spearheaded by Busitema University, emphasizing the protection and conservation of soil as a national priority.
State Minister for Agriculture, Fred Wino Chakulaga, has urged agriculturalists to unite in combating soil degradation, a significant threat to food security. He emphasized the critical role of healthy soils in ensuring Uganda's self-sufficiency in food production and preventing famine.
The four-stated scenario of Uganda's soil requires affirmative action. Currently, Uganda is implementing National Development 3, which is concluding next year. The plan targeted increasing household incomes and quality of Ugandans. The vehicle presently being used is the Parish Development Model, particularly for those less privileged population who make up 37% still outside the money economy. Therefore, sustainable soil productivity is key to realizing this plan's target.
The celebrations featured a range of activities, including a dramatic performance by students that creatively illustrated the importance of soil conservation. An exhibition showcased diverse soil samples and indigenous seeds, reflecting Uganda's rich agricultural heritage and promoting sustainable farming practices. One of the key highlights was the official launch of the Uganda Soil Institute, a semi-autonomous center of excellence co-owned by Westema University. The institute aims to advance soil research and promote sustainable land management practices nationwide.
I therefore call the government, Honorable Minister, through you, we hope that you will convey our appeal to government to support this initiative by providing some resources to establish the Uganda Soil Institute.
This year's National World Soil Day theme, Conserve the Soil for Wealth Creation and Livelihood, emphasized the necessity of preserving natural resources to ensure prosperity for future generations.
We need to understand, or even the government to make it sure that the farmers are able to understand their soil status, in which case, when you ameliorate it, you do what is right for the lacking in nutrients.
Is their contribution really visible? In other words, the efficiency of their contribution. We may be having over 70% of the young people engaging in agriculture, engaging in the management of our soils, but then is their effort realistic enough?
The SDG says the goal recognizes that healthy ecosystems are essential for human life. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's event is all about our livelihood, our life and existence. Please do not take this day and the theme for granted. It is about our life.
Government representatives and agriculture experts rallied support for sustainable farming practices to address challenges such as soil erosion, degradation, and poor agriculture techniques.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. If you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth, because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around checking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
Welcome back from that short break, and of course we ride straight into the world of business, where only 2.5 kilograms of fertilizers per hectare is applied to the farm, ranking Ugandan farmers at only 2% affordability to access fertilizer usage. Now, the practice, coupled with climate change, makes it hard to improve food security, leaving many farmers swimming in abject poverty. However, with a few Ugandans who have attempted to use fertilizers, their families are happy with good nutrition and improved livelihood. Let's hear more from Gerald.
A country gifted by nature, Uganda is where poverty remains a significant challenge, with a substantial portion of the population living below the poverty line. The challenge is rudimentary practices, where many communities depend on farming but with little yields.
It's not only about fertilizer, it's also about knowledge. Farmers need to understand these things, because we provide the extension services. We are working alongside government. We're working also as a private industry that's why we have an agronomy advisory unit where we train the village agents, the youth, so as we can pass this knowledge to as many farmers as possible. Once they realize the benefits, that's why you see at almost every section, whether government or no government, every farmer is going for soil testing to understand the soil status. Every farmer is looking at inputs to use so as to grow the production.
One of the prominent farmers in Namayumba sub-county in Wakiso district is Stephen Kakuba Kasekende. He is coffee farmer.
I started by growing coffee. Coffee is a very good crop, and it has got a good background. It's a crop which you can count on. The money which took me to school was from coffee, and of late the coffee prices are also inducive to grow the crop.
Kasekende's success is carefully deep-rooted in technology training and adopting improved agricultural practices by extension workers from Grain Pulse Fertilizer Blending Company.
Well, there are many varieties of fertilizers. We've been getting them from here and there. A friend advised me about a new company, a company called Grain Pulse. And when I started with a few bags for all the coffee trees, and I applied the fertilizer on those coffees, and the change was immediate.
He's one of the farmers who I've worked with for quite some time. So he is a very good coffee farmer. He has really learnt the crop, how it grows and how it performs. So our job as Grain Pulse agronomy team is to guide him on how to use the inputs, all the fertilizers that we have. At Grain Pulse we have the crop-specific fertilizers.
Baguma Kenneth is the agronomist in Wakiso district. He says many farmers who adopted the use of fertilizer are reaping big in the region.
And I do believe, since Grain Pulse joined his family, or since he's part of Grain Pulse family, and my heart is at peace. And I know he's happy pocket-wise and in everything he does. Because even when I was coming, just for some good tonnage of fertilizer, which I came along with.
Uganda's agriculture sector contributes over 25% to the gross domestic product, but faces threats from poor productions and productivity on the farm. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Umeme informs its customers that the Yucca vending system will not be available from Sunday 8th December 2024 to 6 a.m. on Monday 9th December 2024 due to a planned system upgrade. You are advised to purchase sufficient Yucca units to cover your electricity supply during the system downtime. For any inquiries, contact us on our toll-free numbers 0800-285-285 or 0800-385-385 and on WhatsApp 0772-285-285 or by email to callcenter@umeme.co.ug. Umeme regrets any inconveniences caused. Umeme, powering Uganda.
Now, before we sign out, let us look into the world of sports where Uganda's national netball team, the She Cranes, has held its first training session since arriving in Namibia for the 2024 Africa Netball Cup, set to kick off on Monday. The session served as a recovery workout following nearly 24 hours of travel to Swakopmund and a coastal municipality in northern Namibia.
After an air trip that first took them to Ethiopia, Uganda's national netball team has arrived at Hosea Kutako International Airport in Namibia ahead of the Africa Netball Cup that starts on Monday. When leaving Entebbe, the team was of 12 players who were joined by Mary Nuba, who flew straight from the UK, where she plays for Loughborough Lightning.
No, I think we won it in 2018 African Championship, and I think the squad has changed a lot since then, and I think there's a lot of maturity going to this tournament. We need the wins, and we're going to do all our best as players to make sure we get that. I think the girls, just following up from the series we had last year and first five, and if it's not a netball, but just the gelling in of the girls, I think when we always go on call, we always deliver, and I think it will be the same this time.
The others on the team that is coached by Nelson Bogere are Farida Kandondi, Irene Yaru, Margaret Bagala, Joyce Nakibule, Christine Nakito, and Vidausi Namulema.
I'm not so sure, but if that chance comes, of course it will be good for us to try out some combinations and some players. So if we get a chance of a friendly, we shall have it. If we don't get it, we shall still do our training, working on the bonding, teamwork, things of that kind before the tournament.
The team that has been hosted at Uganda's consulate in Namibia is completed by Namulumba Christine, Masi Batamuliza, Shadia Nasanga, Rachel Nanyonga, Gloria Aya, and Hanisha Muhammad.
I think it's just good for me. I don't see it as pressure. I think the more, and I think nobody puts any pressure on me. I think everyone is here to have fun, and that's what drives us as Team Uganda. We're always in together, and when we go out there, we're just 7 on 7. Everyone is backing each other up, and which is beautiful to see. So no pressure at all.
Sandra Nambirige, who has examination commitments at Ndaje University, will join the team over the weekend. The tournament is for 9 countries, highlighted by reigning champion South Africa, that is in Pool A alongside Malawi, Zambia, and Kenya. Uganda's pursuit for a 4th title starts with Pool B that has Eswatini, Namibia, Lesotho, Malawi, and Zimbabwe. The tournament that also features a men's category starts on Monday at the MTC Dome in the coastal municipality of Swakopmund in northern Namibia.
Well, thank you so much for sticking it with us right from 8 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mpango Mgalu Muhammad has been with us on sign language. Let's meet again at 10 o'clock.